Tarot darlings. Happy new moon in Pisces. It's the last astrological, like the big lunar event before we start Aries season, before we start eclipse season. So it's going to be an exciting one. I am really excited. I already tried to record this video once, but it wasn't the right look. So I know I brought us mandarins. I'm just so grateful. No, this is a peach selenite. That's not to eat. We don't eat that one, just the mandarins. It's my at-home cocktail tray. This is your chair right here. I'm feeling nostalgic AF today. I know. I have my old glasses on, and I got this sweater at H&M in Melbourne many, many years ago. And it's just, I would wear it at the cafe when I just didn't even want to work and I just wanted to stay rugged up at home. So I'm feeling nostalgic. I'm all up. I know, I even have this hanky is from the 90s. It's older than some of you, and they don't make this color anymore. I know, that was from the 90s. But okie dokie, we are talking about the new moon in Pisces today. Welcome to the table. Welcome to the table, my friends. If we have not met, hello. My name is Sarah. I'm a quantum healer, spirit counsel, channel, a mystic, raconteur, and in human form, a waiter in this time and space. My human story, I came from corporate and I've been training teams for over 10 years now, and I'm here to help you make sense of everything that's going on. Definitely, if you're interested in my human story, go watch my Waking Up Post-Woke series. It's for free. There's a whole playlist on it on my YouTube channel. And after 2020, when I was in corporate, I never went back. So I'm here to help you make sense of what's going on, to help you navigate and unpack a little bit of the woo-woo and integrate some metaphysical practices into your personal growth and development toolbox and help really streamline and make efficiency within your awakening. So that's my quest, is to find and help train the new leadership team for the awakened new earth. But my actual why statement, I guess, for lack of a better term, is to create an inspired and safe space for us all to find connection. So I'm here for you, my dears. And please always comment below your questions. If it's in the video, just timestamp it and say, Sarah, around this time, can you deep dive a little bit more into it? But help me offer the proper guidance to help you help yourself, if that makes sense. I think that's the introduction. Okie dokie. So if you would like, pause this video. I'll use the Mandarin for the pause, and go grab your journal, your coffee, your tea. I always have water with me today. It's warm water in the Christmas cup. Literally, it's Pisces season. We're in 17 different worlds all at the same time. So go pause the video, go grab your things. I'll wait. And how are you doing right now? How are you doing? I'm just gonna open the Mandarin as you talk. So it's a lot. And one thing that I've said before in other videos, but because it's Pisces season, I kind of want to highlight again, is that if you're ever in a healing crisis, a health crisis, or going through a breakup, or going through too intensive emotional things to really utilize the moon and to manifest or let go, or if anything that I'm ever teaching you is anxiety producing, you just literally just say to your higher self, time out. I would higher self, you take over on this one. I just need safety. I need security. I need love. These are the things that I need. But there are times I've skipped moon cycles and not manifested. I've skipped full moons and just lived daily tasks. So it's okay to do that if you're going through things that are just too much. And your higher self will do what needs to be done. And you can't mess up. Sorry, I have the little things from the oranges. You can't mess up your destiny if you try. You can't mess up what's meant for you if you tried. It's only meant for you. So knowing that is helpful. And your guides, your angels, your higher self, they're not human. They're not in time and space. They don't understand what it feels like to be human. So you can get salty if you need to. Especially in Pisces season, you can get salty with them. You can drive around the back shore and you can just scream at the ocean and scream at your higher self and just say, I need this to live. I need this to take care of myself. They don't understand bills. They don't pay bills. They don't understand these things. So you can get salty with them if you need. And again, especially around Pisces season, again, especially right before the beginning of the astrological new year, which is the equinox, the Aries equinox. So we'll get all into that. But for right now, and so my intention for today is to talk about this new moon, talk about how you might be feeling, a little bit of the energy of what the collective is going to be feeling, and some tools and tricks for you to kind of navigate, to plant seeds for manifestation, to help yourself. I'm going to offer the tarot cards for this decan of the astrological wheel, for the Pisces decan of the astrological wheel. And as always, I invite my guides to offer their messages, to offer what it is that they think is going on and something that might be utilizable for everyone within this community. If you are watching this on Patreon, you know that we have the entire channeled message and that that's available for you. But if you're watching this on YouTube, if we have not met before, when I'm talking to you here, my higher self and my guides give me images over here, as well as I have usually like a past life, for lack of a better term, or a different image going on over here. So my like general view, my general lens is 3 different universes. So I apologize in advance if I'm not looking directly at you as we're talking, because I can just kind of like view over here and see what they have to say. So let's get into the astrology and the dates first. So if you want to write these dates down, and this is what we look at things in lenses, because I wear these big old glasses. So we're looking at the new moon, which is when the sun and the moon are conjunct at the same point in the sky at the exact same time. So depending on where you live on the planet, everybody gets a new moon. You just have to know exactly what time it is. And this is the general astrological wheel. It starts with Aries, moves all the way around over to Pisces over there. So in Central Standard Time, 10th of March, 4 o'clock. Gold Coast, 10th of March, 1900. Like on the nose, I know. That's auspicious. And then Eastern Standard Time, where I am, the 10th of March at 5 o'clock. And this is military time, so I'm teaching you military time. My US citizens, I'm teaching you military time. Yeah. Okie dokie. So let's get into the astrology of it. I just have to highlight and say in advance that like Uranus is really a part of this right now, and there are so many different things that we can unpack. We have a Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that's coming up in April. I want to say the 20th of April. And that's happening in the sign of Taurus right over here at 21 degrees. And Uranus is one of the rulers for Aquarius. I'm going to just get into all of this. Or Uranus is one of the rulers for Aquarius, as it's just, how do I say? Go watch the February 2024 video for a little bit of a backdrop, whereas our old ways, and this is on the YouTube channel for public use, our old ways won't work anymore. Our old ways just won't work anymore. And we have to really take steps to integrate some of the beyond, some of the unknown into our daily life. You don't have to in any way, like if you have your spiritual awakening, if you have your awakening, or if you're here at my table, you don't have to be like, oh, I'm becoming like this yogi and I'm doing this now and I'm going to leave all my possessions behind and throw everything away. No, you just have to be the authentic version of yourself and speak from I statements and look at your shadow and look at certain things. But I find that a part of my purpose is to really help like the spirituality, the metaphysical practice, and the leadership make a handshake. Like I want all of y'all to meet at the table. I have a little short about how we're not so different, whether it be my corporate leaders or it's my spiritual community. We're not so different, but just like with everything in this world right now, as I'm recording this in February 2024, it's the 29th. Yeah, we get a leap year. I know. There's so many different things that we can unpack about that. But we can't look at the other side, or there is no sides. We live in a polarity-based reality. I know that, but we can't keep looking at like, no, they're this over here, and no, they're this over here. That's a sleeper cell. You gotta look at it as a cafeteria line. You have to, and say, this works for me. This doesn't work for me. This works for me. This doesn't work for me. Everything, every bit of it. It's not, how do I say? So many people, and I'm seeing this happen, were either super duper spiritual and now they're going back to corporate, or super duper spiritual and then they've gone super duper religious, or they've gone super duper religious and now they're super duper atheist, or they've gone super duper liberal and now they're super duper conservative, or super duper conservative and now they're going super duper liberal. And what if you took every single label away? Like every label away. This is just coming to me now. Every single label and every single side. And you just said, this is who I am. This is my belief. This is, and we cannot soapbox it. We cannot say like, I'm the new me today. We know that because it changes every single day. So definitely just be and say, this is where I am. This is how I am. And reminding yourself how lovable you are. It was in I have a daily affirmation book. It's a codependency daily affirmation book. Melanie Beatty, she wrote The Language of Letting Go. This is like a complete aside, but there she has a daily affirmations book, and I don't read it every single day, but I've had it since like 2013, 2014, and it's traveled the world with me. And today, because it's the leap day, I thought, what does it say today? And it just was reminding yourself how lovable you are. Just as you are. In the middle of your journey, in the middle of your processing, in the middle of your multidimensional, metaphysical, astral battle, the awakening of the planet, in the middle of it all, you're worthy and lovable right now. So I wanted to share that with you. I'm really grateful for you being here. It doesn't matter if you feel as though it's an Everest in front of you and you have so far to go and you have so much to do. Just saying, as souls, we contracted every little bit of the things and you chose for it to be an Everest. Yeah. No, and when I look at, and I'm not saying this to say you, it's true for me as well. Like there are many times that I'm like, you put yourself in this hole? You did this? You put yourself in this little well? And I'm like, yeah, I did. So that when I come out of it, when I create the other side of it, I have reverence and I can say, wow, I created that with God. Yeah, nobody gave that to me. It wasn't like a person, it was God and I'm consciously creating my successes, and it's worth every breath. It's worth every little bit of it. So I just wanted to offer that complete aside. It usually takes about 10-15 minutes for me to get to the astrology. So it's none of this is out of the norm. But I've started to timestamp it, so if you want to skip over the introduction and just go right to the grid, absolutely you can do that. So let's get into the astrology. This is the general wheel, the general astrological wheel that starts in Aries and goes all the way around over to Pisces. So even if you know absolutely nothing of astrology, what do we know about this grid? Down here, this is the roots of the tree of our life. Safety is key. Ancestral, cultural, family roots. And up here, this is our highest aspirations. This is the midheaven, like public life over here. This is the rising sign, the ascendant. This is where we do things on our own. And this is relationships and the other people and where we share things with them. So as you can see, there's just an ever so slight highlighting on our soul's purpose and on ourselves. So it's very, very true how you might be feeling. And this is just not to point fingers at you. How we're all feeling right now is we can't see past our own nose, and we can only see the people in our lives through our own lenses, through what does this person represent to me? What are they bringing to the table? What am I bringing to their table? It's very, not even in the Aries me way, it's in the, am I serving this person? Are they serving me? Is this part of the community that I'm supposed to be in? Are they meant for my soul purpose? Dream spaces are popping off. Definitely have a separate dream journal if you don't already, or even just literally a piece of paper and a pen that you keep next to your bed. And before you look at any version of a telephone, technology, anything, what was my dream last night? And write it out. The dream space is it's just popping. It's so cool. It's just so cool. And I find that dreams, as well as YouTube, are wonderful first steps to recognizing astral traveling, quantum mechanics, and the beyond. Like you and I right now are literally transcending time and space.
We're sitting here at my cafe table just having a one-on-one conversation, yet I recorded this on the 29th of February, 2024. What time and space are you in? I'm in Eastern Standard Time. Where are you on the planet? But again, it's just me and you having this conversation. So how cool is that? So thank you to YouTube for that. I know this orange is so good. So let's get into the planets. Let's get into this. And I just have to highlight, Uranus is kind of in the mix. It's kind of as if the parable that's coming to my brain right now is Uranus and April 2024. There's a conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus in the sign of Taurus that's coming in April. And it's kind of as if this is Act 1. And there's, I don't even know how to say it. It's like literally like there's just a whole nother act that's coming for each of us, that the spring or the autumn, depending on the time zone that you're in, whatever April means to you, especially at the beginning of Taurus season and stuff like that, it's just going to feel like an entire different play, a different scene, a different act, if you will. If we know that all the world's a stage, then that's kind of just the parable that my guides are giving me right now. So look at this as a chapter, even though we'll have the Aries equinox coming, and that's the general, that's the beginning of the astrological new year. It's like cycles upon cycles that are happening right now. So I want you to actually look at like from now until the 20th of April, where we have that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. Look at this as Act 1. Look at this as Act 1. And there's so many resources, so many different lenses that I want to put in front of you. The February 2024 video that I have on YouTube, the March 2024 video, the Pisces season 2024 video, as well as the Capricorn solstice video that was from December of 2023. These are all applicable lenses that are happening in this current time period right now. So I'm going to try not to repeat any of the things that I said there, but let's just get into it now after, 17 minutes. Okay. So we have the sun and the moon conjunct at the same time at 20 degrees of Pisces. In the general wheel, Pisces runs the 12th house of soul purpose, healings, closures, and coming home, the ending and the beginning. Why did my soul come to this planet? Truly. And so as we utilize our manifesting tools, if we're keen to manifest, and in the Patron group, we'll get into this in the All Signs reading, but really we're planting seeds for what it is that we do want. 20 degrees of Pisces. What else do we have in this house right over here? We have Saturn in Pisces. We have Neptune in Pisces. And Neptune is a heavy hitter. He's been here for a very long time. And Saturn's going to be in Pisces for the entirety of 2024. Oh yeah, both of these will be in Pisces for the entirety of 2024. But we'll have Venus and we'll have Mars going into Pisces this month. We'll actually have Venus going into Pisces the next day after this new moon. Yeah, this is at 28 degrees right over here. So that's very, very interesting. And I'm not going to repeat all the things that I've said before about these placements right over here. One thing I really like is that Mercury went into Aries the day before. So we have Mercury, our communication, our individual Hermes, how we communicate, as well as how we receive our communication from our guides, from our spirit team, and from our soul mama and papa. That's in Aries. So it's very much like Aries is the infant baby ram. And so Mercury in Pisces is very loving. You're so beautiful. I love you so much. And Mercury in Aries is, yeah, no. You're no, stop talking. I know more than you, so I'm just going to speak over you. No. I know more than you. So it's actually, I feel as though if you've been following your dreams, or if you've been following your most auspicious path and surrendering to the current, I feel as though Mercury in Aries is going to be a very helpful tool for us, whereas things are just going to come in hot. They're just going to come in quick, come in hot, in a way that's very cut and dry, very point blank, Aries is the leader, first sign of the zodiac. So when we get an idea, I really feel as though we're going to be like, that's for me or that's not for me. Very much literally view this as a cafeteria line. I have a whole short about the cafeteria line, so definitely go check that out on my YouTube channel. But fully look at your downloads and know that you don't have to entertain every thought, every emotion. They're not always yours, and that can be very confusing, especially in Pisces season. So I would just say, like, when you get an idea, just say, is this a good idea or is this a bad idea? Talk therapy it out, really. Mercury in Pisces can be very... Mercury in Aries, okay, I just got this idea, I just got this download. Sarah, go to the mirror and just say, hey, was this really a good idea? Is this what I should be doing? Like, talk a little bit faster with yourself, to yourself. So that's over here. I have Mars in Aquarius. It's been there for a little while. This is Pluto is in Aquarius. Tons of information on my public YouTube channel, Pluto in Aquarius Part 1 as well as Part 2. Definitely go check that out. Part 2, I've got paint on my face so you can't miss it. And we've already talked about Venus over here. So what do we have in the sign of Aries? The North Node in Aries, and we have Chiron conjunct in Aries right over here. The North Node and the South Node are always in complete opposition of each other. So the South Node has been in our house of relationships for months now. This is going to be, the nodes are going to be in Aries and Libra for the entirety of 2024. And then I have Lilith over here in Virgo. This literally says to me, it's like, we cannot see past our soul purpose right now. We know there's this yearning that's inside of us that's saying, I know that my soul came here to do something. I literally know that I have a purpose that's bigger than myself. And around the 28th of February, depending on when you're watching this, so go back and check in your journals, what ideas came to you on the 28th of February? That's when we had the Sun, Mercury, and Saturn conjunct at 9 degrees, of Pisces. So see where 9 degrees of Pisces is falling in your chart, see what is going on there, as well as what ideas came to you. What random stranger in the grocery store said something that hit and you're hitting on an idea I had and I just let go of many years ago. So thank you. I appreciate that. Or where did you just have this breath of clarity to say, yeah, I do want that. I do want that goal. I do want what it is that I've seen in my dreams and my mind's eye for years. I do care enough to work towards it and to hold hands with God and say, yes, I'll do that. I'll focus on that. I will create it. I have no idea how to. I have no idea how to do it, but I'm willing to become the version of myself that will figure it out. That's what the 28th of February was about. We've talked about it at length, so I'm not going to get into it so much, but I really want us to revisit that before we really manifest for this new moon. And I kind of want to, in the Patreon group, in the toolbox, when we talk about, actually, is it the practical manifestation technique? No, it's manifesting. Like, I have like an actual script, the scripting 101 in the Patreon group. That's in there. I kind of want us to be doing, I'm going to offer, let's do a year one because it's right before the equinox. Let's do a year manifestation. And because this is soul purpose, I would highlight that normally, what do we mean by that, Sarah? Normally we do month scripting, or personally I do month scripting, where how am I going to be in a month? Where am I going to be next new moon? And it's always new moon to new moon. I feel as though it might help with the gargantuanness of the water energy that Pisces is. And really, they're the baby ancients. Like, if Aries is the infant baby ram, the Pisces are the baby ancients. They're so old souls, but sometimes they're like, how do I human? I don't know, but they can pick up on empathetic shifts in energy, like, without trauma. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love seeing it. I feel as though, yes, I would just like to offer, this is what I'm going to do, is a year script, just so I don't have to get caught up in the how in any capacity. And I don't even know what I'm going to call this video yet. I wrote make a wish in a bottle, or there was a quote that I wrote down, the universe, can I get you anything else? Is there anything else you want? Not need, want. Truly. And shoot for that. And because in Pisces season we can get a very like, no, take care of everyone else first. Not me. No, I'm okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. Just take care of everyone. Nope, let them go first. Let them go first. I want you to really, the dramatization that I want, put a wish in your manifestation journal, in the bottle, like the one that nobody will see, and then you throw it out into the ocean and you just give it to the universe. Yeah, you don't have to tell anybody about this. I kind of want you to be a little bit more cards to the chest when it comes to this one. Just be like, yeah. So when it comes, you know that it was you, your higher self, and the God of your understanding that created it. Nobody else. It wasn't, oh, I told my friend about this and then they connected me, and which is yes, which is I hear you. It is still the universe filling your order. This one, I want it to be like when you wish upon a star. I want it to be sole purpose. It's the end, the last new moon of the astrological year. This is not meant to be anxiety producing in any capacity. I want you just to put, if nothing else, put a few more zeros on the end of the money that you want to manifest from the universe. Like this is like winning the lottery type stuff, but with the universe. And so, how do I say? I'm going to do an entire video for the Patreon group for what to do between full moons and new moons. So I'm not going to reference all of that here, but it's kind of like after full moons or after big explosions of life that created ego deaths, whatever it may be. You lost somebody, you had a breakup, you changed jobs, or you tried to create something and you shot your shot and you failed. It can punch your ego, definitely. It can knock you on the teeth. It can just really took a hit to the gut or the privates. After the dust settles, I would love for you to just look at what's left. Take the gold nuggets out of the rubble, and then just say, what do I have? And simultaneously, what's next? That makes sense. That makes sense. So, one little thing that I just want to highlight as well. So we have Pluto, this little guy up here. And we talked in the February introductory video about how all of the inner planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, all had to conjunct, same point in the sky, just like the new moon is a conjunction, with the planet Pluto, our deepest transformation. And so that's why that video was called like Our Old Ways Won't Work Anymore. Pluto's in Aquarius now. It's at 1 degree of Aquarius right over here. And Pluto will dip back down for a few months into Capricorn later on this year in 2024, but this is a 20-year transit, Pluto in Aquarius, 2021-year transit. So this is forever changing. We can't do things the same way. We cannot do things the same way. With that being said, we have a sextile coming. What is it, the next day? Yeah, no, as I'm talking. So sextile is 2 houses over. And I talk about sextiles in the North Node video, I think in other videos, where it's like sextiles, it's like, when you're at the family party and your favorite cousin walks in and you're like, I get you. And you have that free flowing energy, sign to sign, not the next door neighbor sign, but sign to sign. So all of the planets that conjunct, this is Mercury, Mars, and Venus, when they go into the sign of Aries, they are going to sextile Pluto. So it's kind of see how far you've come type thing. It's literally, I know, it's like lenses, it's like Venn diagram upon circles upon cycles, and I know. So I'm not saying this to be confusing in any capacity. I like to be very efficient in my processes. So again, timestamp the video and say, Sarah, around this time, can you deep dive and give us a little bit more information there? I'm just throwing as much at you as I possibly can. And if you're new to my channel, I'm very cognizant of the fact that I give you about 6 months of work in each of my YouTube videos. But again, I am from corporate. We cannot slow down. None of this is, this is the way of the world. Yeah, the planet is ascending and awakening. There's no you can't hide from the energies of the solar flares that's coming. You gotta become the most authentic version of yourself and just look at your traumas and things. It is not easy stuff. And I'm not saying that to be condescending. I'm saying if you're here at my table, you know that something's off. It doesn't matter what your belief system is in any capacity. Everyone is here and welcome at my table. Our foundation is kindness and honesty and reverence for each other. So you're safe to share here. This is an incredible community of people. So please comment below if you're new. Comment below where you're from. I'm Eastern Standard Time in the North Shore of Massachusetts over here. Where are you on the planet? We just had a really amazing new person subscribe that's from Brazil. So welcome, my friend. Welcome, welcome. It is just such an honor to be able to transcend time and space and have us at the table here together. So I had to say I'm very, very grateful for everyone here. But so don't get overwhelmed. Sometimes people have to watch my videos a few times and go back to the specific timestamp and, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Just listen to it on the walk or when you're having coffee or tea in the morning. You don't have to be sitting there taking notes. The vibration of my voice itself is helping to saturate into you. So the next day you might wake up and just be like, oh, I understand what a sextile is. Oh, I don't have to be the best version of myself. I just have to be in what I'm in and be the most authentic version of myself. Yeah. It can be very, I don't want to say dangerous, but a little bit of when I know that a preacher or teacher doesn't resonate with me is when I do like this. And I find that for myself personally, the love and light community, and that's something that can be off-putting when you step into any sort of metaphysical spiritual practice. I don't even like calling myself like a spiritual teacher or a spiritual person. I don't like calling myself religious. I am both of those things, but it's incorporating these metaphysical practices is imperative for my growth. It was like I couldn't do any of what it is that I do without this understanding, without this knowledge. But we all have a shadow, and we have to look at that. It's not noon all day long. Everyone has a shadow. So for me personally, if I see love and light only, good vibes only, be the best version of yourself. No, be authentic. If you're feeling feelings, my friend, just say, I'm feeling a lot, and be in it. Because the more you accept and surrender to the current, the quicker it changes. Yeah. The more you process and the deeper you go into it, the quicker you heal it. It's kind of like we put it off, like cleaning the closet. I think I said that in the last video. I put off cleaning the closet. I put it off. I don't want to clean it. It's so gross in there. There's all the webs and all the things I don't want to look at. It usually takes about 20 minutes to 45 minutes. Yeah. I know. Oh, no. I have to go back and watch these videos and sit at the table with Sarah. So I get it. It is not always easy. And sometimes I do shoot between the eyes, and I apologize about that. But, okay. So Uranus is in the mix. I'd mentioned that before. What do you mean by that, Sarah? And, we have that conjunction coming up in April. This is Act 1. Why is everything connected? Well, because everything is connected. We know that. But so there's a sextile going on. I know I just talked about sextiles, so we have all these lenses. We have the sextile of Mercury and Pluto, kind of seeing how our communication has changed since we had Pluto conjunct Mercury, and that was back in February. It's all in the February introductory video, so definitely go watch that. I'm not going to repeat all of the things that I said there. But this new moon, 20 degrees, sextiling Uranus at 19 degrees. So the sun and moon are sextiling Uranus at 19 degrees. We also have Mars squaring Uranus. Square is like you've come up to an intersection and one person has to move before the other person goes. It's also like a tension point, but that's how diamonds are made. So it's like a pressure point. So Mars, our assertive planet, doesn't really love being in Aquarius, which is fixed air energy. So we can kind of sometimes be very fixed in our belief systems and the way that we assert ourselves. And I'm sure that you've seen that on the public stage right now, where people are so dead set with their belief system that if you touch on it, it's like this cognitive dissonance, but like he's not back, that type of a thing. But I know you know, I don't have to really say that. So Uranus is sextiling the sun and moon and squaring Mars. So there's a lot of excitement happening, and Uranus in Taurus, in our collective house of money, values, access to resources. So Taurus is like, we like comfort, we like bougie things, but if we get it on sale, that's an amazing thing. And it's kind of like, I like to go to first seating, get all of the good, delicious food that I want, but I don't want to deal with the crowds of second seating. I want to be home and in bed in my fuzzy slippers after the new, skincare regime that I got at Marshall's on discount. And, I have the chocolate ganache cake that I really love waiting for me, and I can have that there. And it's usually Taurus season starts around 4:20, so that's kind of like I'm not smoking cannabis flower anymore. I ingest tinctures and things like that, but it's just, I had my lighter the other morning. I was just like setting up. I woke up and I was still like one-eyed, and I was like putting the coffee on after my meditations, and I grabbed my lighter and I was lighting incense and Palo Santoing and saging the house and stuff like that. And I just had this moment where a year ago, I was such a wake and baker. I was ingesting breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was my baby. I loved it so much. And it was like my binky. I couldn't, but it was so funny that for a moment I was just like, wow, look how far you've come. That you couldn't even have imagined back then not having a wake and bake. Yeah, my morning was like waking, baking, having 2 shots of espresso, and then going to the gym, and my brain was like, what is happening right now? And no judgment. It's just, I can't do the channeling that I get to do when I'm fuzzy, when I'm not clear. I need to stay clear. So I'm grateful for how far I've come and the work that I've done, but in no way am I judging. There's so much beauty to plant medicine. I couldn't speak more highly to it, and it got me through certain situations in my life where literally, like, I wouldn't wish borderline homelessness on anyone, and the cannabis that I was able to ingest during that time made it so I did not completely break down and destroy my life. So I have to say that there's absolutely no judgment. It is such a powerful medicine, but I wasn't ingesting it as medicine anymore, so that's why I had to stop. Yeah, it's kind of like I was drinking the amoxicillin because it tastes like bubble gum, and I wasn't really SICK anymore. So yeah, we're going to have this amazing little conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus and Taurus, and that's not until April, but what do we know about this house? Money, values, access to resources. So see where 20 degrees of Pisces is falling in your chart. That's right over here. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I have finished and I'm putting together a birth chart basics program for you. It'll be just a one-off download that you can watch as many times as you'd like. That will be an introduction to the houses, how to follow the moon, and all these different things. So I don't know if I have it finished, I will put it in the description box below. But that's something that if you are watching this on Patreon, I'm going to have that complimentary for you. And that's just going to be an offering. So you can watch that. What is it that I do? How do I follow the moon? But check and see in your own individual chart where 20 degrees of Pisces is for this new moon, as well as where 21 degrees of Taurus is for the conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus. That's over here. So that's just to come, and that's a preview, but I'm giving as much information as I possibly can. So what else did I want to talk about? Oh, the tarot. Let's just go over that super duper quick. So there's a bunch of different cards that I have in front of me right here. So the High Priestess represents basically all water energy, And the moon, honest to goodness, some reference books say that this is, again, about Cancer because of the moon, but this is water energy, so this is Pisces energy. The Death card is the Scorpio energy. So this is a lens, again, so many different lenses that are going on right now, but the High Priestess, all water energy, all intuition energy. The moon can be these two are the major arcana that represents the water energy, but I'd say this one specifically. And this is also a really great card because, as you can see, there's no people on this card. They're howling up at the moon. So when you start to do this work and you really recognize that we are consciousness running these human avatars, but these human avatars are pretty intensely affected by the moon cycles. Like if you're a fisherman, you know all animals are affected by the moon. It's amazing. It's just so amazing. We're animals too. It's just our reptilian brains that tell us otherwise. So this, when you see these cards come up in your own polls, this could really just be check the chat, check the chat, check the chat. And so we have the entire court of cups of water energy that we can really look to as well. So where are you in your emotional journey? And this is without judgment. I just want you to look at these 4 cards and I want you to really say, do I feel like the Page of Cups, where I'm stepping into the unknown and I'm really understanding more metaphysical practices? Like, he's just lost looking at his intuition and looking at that little fishy in the cup. He's just happy. Am I just starting to learn about astrology? Am I just starting to learn about the tarot? This could be a student of the tarot. Like, I have a coworker the other day, she's like, Sarah, you'd be so proud of me. I started to pull tarot for myself, which is so exciting. It's just so exciting. Also, I have a link below in the description. If you're keen, I have a one-off purchase. I think it's for $8.88. It's 12 different tarot teachings, and we can, like, it's really just a bunch of different things that are, when you're first getting started, it's a tool that you can put in your toolbox. So that's in my Gumroad. So definitely go check that out if you're just starting to pull tarot for yourself. But in the Patreon group, I do a reading for the new moons and the full moons. So I'll do a full reading and see what do these cards come out. So are you in the Page? Are you in the student, the apprentice mode right now? The Knights can represent people, definitely so. They can also represent action. The Pages can represent kiddos. So it's like, if you have kiddos, if you want kiddos, like, that can represent a child, definitely, when they come up. But the Knights, he can seem like he's a little bit bored looking at his cup. He's not really moving too quickly, but he has the wings on his shoes as well as on his helmet right over here. So it's kind of like, he still is going. He's still coming and going. It's, if you know any of the other knights, he's not running around like the Knight of Swords or things like that. He's really just in this pensive creative space. This is also, if this represents a person, we know that the negative side of the Pisces is lying. So if you know someone that, how do I say? This is just coming to me now. If you are dating someone that is a Pisces, that you don't trust any of the things that they're saying, or you're just kind of like, are they lying to me? Are they lying to me? Yeah, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. It's very true. It's kind of in the same way if you are into psychology and the DSM. It's kind of in the way where adult children of alcoholic parents can lie brazenly without thinking that they're lying in any way. Or even an adult child of unavailable or emotionally unintelligent parents, it's part of it's like in the description where it says, yeah, you can just lie effortlessly, because when you were growing up, you had to lie to just literally protect yourself and to protect your safety. So once you start to do this work, you can say, that wasn't real. I don't know why I just said that. It could be just to strangers as well, that they're like, how are you? Oh, I'm off to do this thing. It's like, no, you're not. You're not doing anything today. So if you are dating someone that's a Pisces, or if you are someone who's a Pisces and you're lying, just look at that. Just look at that and forgive yourself. It's okay. That's a trauma response. That the second that you recognize that that's a trauma response that doesn't serve you anymore because you're not in trauma, and you look at it and you process it and you say, I did this because of this, but you don't label it on your lapel, and you say, I am not 7 anymore. I'm okay. Grandma's not going to pull me down the hallway by my hair. She's dead. That's me. You're good. You're good. You can speak. It's okay. It's okay. See how ostentatious her cup is? Yeah, she built that with her conscious mind. Yeah, see? Yeah, she built that. She built that. So are you really learning how to, like the story I just said, look at your traumas and say, oh, I unconsciously did that. I unconsciously participated in that rhetoric, and it doesn't serve me anymore because I'm not in trauma. I'm safe and I'm okay. I really am. I'm safe and I'm okay. So she has mastered her emotions, not so much as the king in the sense that he's moving forward, but she's nurturing and nourishing her emotions. And the king. Yeah, he's creative. He really is. See, there's still the fishy back there. I don't know if you can see it. There's still the fishy back there. He might seem like he's a little bored. He's ready to stand up. So this could be if you're at the point in your journeys where it's not so much like what's left. This is a little bit of what's left and loving that experience and loving your emotions and loving how deeply you feel. And this is a little bit of what's next. This is completed creative projects or, a new blank canvas. This is exciting times. But yeah, he's Pisces energy over here, definitely so. And so this is the minor arcana card that represents, 11 to 20 degrees of Pisces. And so this new moon is falling at 20 degrees of Pisces. So this is a good time. This is a good time over here. Yeah. Sometimes a win is a really lovely evening, a really lovely meal, a really lovely experience where sometimes people say, some people call this the fairy godmother card. This is like make a wish. It's just so funny that I didn't even recognize that when I had written the title. Everything's connected. When I wrote out the title for this video and for this new moon. But yeah, this is the Make-A-Wish card. Yeah, it's a really beautiful thing. So this is representing the staking of the astrological wheel. So if nothing else, either really appreciate what's there and what's left and not really, you don't have to manifest right now. Like I'd said, if I'm going to do a year script for this, because doing a month doesn't make sense to me. And that's just me. But if you're feeling really grounded right now, if you are a water sign, pardon me for speaking with my mouth full, then do the month script and keep on keeping on. And these are just offerings for the cafeteria line. I'm just asking my guides if there's anything else that they'd like to reach out to some friends or to family. They're showing me people hugging and really finding connection. It's kind of like the Three of Cups type of an image where really asking for what it is that you need is so important right now, and recognizing that you're not alone in any capacity. With community, we can fly. We can literally fly. And it is so important. I think it was the Gemini Rising video, the Gemini Rising reading for the full moon that we just had in Virgo. Something for some of my Geminis, really, you got the carpet ripped out from under you. And it's just so powerful what's going on. I just want to offer that you are not too much. This isn't just for Geminis, but for everybody. You are not too much. I want you bigger. I want you more emotional. I want you feeling all of your feelings, but know that you're not too much. People can hold space for you. They don't have to understand what you're going through. They don't. And they're not going to be able to, but they can love you. And they can hold space for you, and they can listen to you effortlessly, really. And we always utilize, proper hygiene and proper manners when it comes to asking for help. And, we don't just randomly FaceTime call people and just be like, I'm going through this. You just send a message, say, hey, I could really use someone to hold space for me. Are you available to do that? Do you have time today for a phone call, for a FaceTime call? And give them the opportunity to say, yes, absolutely, or no, I'm right in my own arena and I can't hold space for you and I'm sorry. And that doesn't mean that they don't love you. That means that they love you enough to be honest with you, that them holding space for you would have diminished their light, diminished their vibration, because they won't be able to see you clearly. Think of it as like a trust fall where you're all holding hands, and sometimes one of you is going down and sometimes one of you is this way and sometimes one of you is this way and this way. And it could be even in a conversation that you go from one to one. Truly. Like yesterday for that big conjunction of the Sun, Mercury, and Saturn, I had gone to the gym and I saw an acquaintance that was there and she was just having a process, and I held space for her. And then within the same conversation, she held space for me right after. Yeah, it's okay to be vulnerable when you're comfortable with your vulnerability. And, for so many people that have had other people in their lives in the past that either were narcissistic in some capacity or did not have the emotional intelligence to hold space for you. It can feel so awkward. The first time you're like, I need someone to hold space. I'm like, come to my bosom. It's okay. It's okay. It's so okay. It just means that they couldn't handle you, but that doesn't mean that you're not handleable, if that's a word, or lovable as you are. It just means that that wasn't the right person at your table. So invite another person to the table. We can't harden our heart. We can't stop feeling or diminish our growth because someone somewhere couldn't see past their own nose. So it's so helpful when someone says, hey, I can't hold space for you right now. Because it means, and all you have to do is send them love. They'll send you love. They'll do it in meditations. But it's when you find people that are of your same vibration, they'll do the same for you. They'll say, hey, can you hold space for me, friend? And you'll be able to say, yes, I'm in a great space for it. Or no, I am in my own arena as well, and I love you from afar. And that's okay. That's okay. Truly. It's okay to, how do I say? There's no traffic in your lane. What is meant for you is looking for you, and you cannot mess it up. So if you just have to sit down in your lane, there's nobody coming up behind you. There's no rat race. There is no, what is that quote from a tea bag that I saw? Like, nature doesn't rush, yet everything is accomplished. Do you go outside when the seedlings are out there and just say, why aren't you growing? Why aren't you growing? Grow faster. No, you just let it grow. Just like you. You're allowed to just grow. Just grow. Yeah. Definitely do some journaling before the new moon. And if you're seeing this on YouTube, this is available over a week in advance in my Patreon group. I give a nice breadth of time for you to watch this and kind of let go of what it is that you need to let go before the day of the new moon. And if you're watching this on the new moon and you are in the midst of your own life and arena and you have to go to the job that you really don't like, a very general recommendation that I can give for you is, if you don't have this language at all, just keep your thoughts high. That's it. And express gratitude for every little bit of what you're in. I'm so grateful that I have this job. If you don't like the job, that doesn't matter. I'm so grateful for this job. It gives me the freedom to keep a roof over my head. I'm so grateful it gives me the food to put on my table. I can feed my family and I don't have to worry. I'm so grateful for my fingers and my toes. I'm grateful for my healthy body. I'm grateful for my hair. I am grateful for my feet. Pisces runs the feet. So definitely expressing gratitude for our feet. Or, if you're in a partnership, or if you want to offer this, or if you're in the capacity to, go get a foot massage. If you're in a partnership, give each other foot massages. Yeah. If you work in service especially, go get a pedicure, go get a foot massage. Go do that. Is that it? I think that's it for right now. We're going to get into it in the all signs reading, definitely. And what questions do you have for me? Please comment those below. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And please share this information with someone that is also could benefit from this. Maybe it's someone that's, gone full woo-woo and they're getting lost in the spiritual jargon and all the different things, and they need to kind of come out of it and do some more accessible, applicable things and know when to kind of not process. And then for maybe it's someone that in corporate that's at the next desk, the next cubicle. You say, hey, this, girl, she's a little bit cuckoo pants, but she's spitting facts. Like, please share this information as much as you possibly can. Comment below what you're going through if you're comfortable to do that. You can always send me an email if you're interested. You're definitely not alone. My email is always listed below. If you're keen to join the Patreon group and do a little bit more of a deep dive and have a really incredible community of people that are also doing this deep dive, definitely that group is for you. What else? Yeah, I'm gonna have the birth chart basics. I'll put that down in the comments below as soon as that's put together. That'll be a one-off purchase and you can watch that as many times as you'd like. I try to offer the most foundational, accessible information if you're just starting out into this world, because it's overwhelming. It's ridiculously overwhelming. And I love that the astrology, I'll leave you with this, is so helpful for calming anxiety. This is what helped me, is that we have all of these areas of our life that we know we have to focus on and have to develop and have to better and have to do all of these things. But it just says focus on this house, on this stake-in, on this degree, on this area of your life. And the rest will come. Really, you get new moons and full moons in every house pretty much in the general way once a year. So you'll be able to manifest in each house and then release in each house. Manifest in each house and then release in each house. So you'll get that opportunity. So I love how the astrology, for me, even without the woo-woo, is just math, history, and patterns. And it's a way for us to say, okay, this is now, I'll focus on this now. This is later, I'll focus on that later. And just be in what you're in. Just be in what you're in. It's a very, very helpful tool. But it is the why, but not the medicine. That's it. I love you so much. Please, what questions do you have for me? Comment those below. Love you. Ciao, ciao, my dears.